So here we are, after a breathtaking qualifying yesterday, the cars are taking their final positions on the grid today. It's time now for the Singapore Grand Prix. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit today, located in the heart of Singapore. The circuit consists of 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right. It's a track that's incredibly technical, so don't expect to see the drivers taking too much of it at full throttle.
Good evening, race fans. I'm Pirellis here, Black Flag Racing TV, and I apologise for arriving incredibly late into the commentary, right at the end of qualifying, as we do as well. Quick rundown. Pink Eye on pole with a 1:36.6 for the Williams. Rose, usually on pole. Surprised not to see Rose there actually, with a 1:36.8 in the Red Bull. He's going pretty darn quick though, heading towards the line right at the end of qualifying. Although he's crossed the line and has only finished on the front row. Row 2 is going to be Bingram and Omni Jimmy, although Omni Jimmy looks like he's still going pretty quickly. Pro Striker and Blanks both on row. No, he's not, because Sir Gat puts himself on row 2. That's a phenomenal lap to come in at the end of qualifying with a 1:37.0 and a really close between 3rd, 4th and 5th. Just a couple of hundredths difference in their times. So Pro Striker drops down to row 3 with Omni Jimmy. Blanks and Nat Backers on row 4. Makes it, and Rapid F1 are on row 5. Good to see Rapid F1 back in that top 10. Tongo Prof, that is by his standards quite a good performance. On row 6 with Tyler in 12th place. Muikuli and Komzar both in on row 7, 13th and 14th place. Curry and Explicit Simo are 15th, 16th. Jay Hartnell in 17th. Grog is in 18th place. Grog, I haven't seen him before. No, I've seen Pinko actually. Jinxie in 19th, and Cordano and Andre. I can't remember how to say it. Andre in 20th place in the pits currently. Is that Pink Eye? I'm not sure who that is. But him and Pro Striker, we saw Pro Striker on Tuesday. And I did call him Prostituter, and I'll probably do it again at some point today. Makes it still out there, still on a hot lap. Is that an improvement? No, it's not. Makes it stays in 9th. So that is your full rundown. Curry's still out quickly. Well, that's kind of big corner there, so that's unlikely to be a hot lap there. So the full 20 all set of time. Pink Eye sits on pole with a 36.6, and that's a good couple of tenths quicker than Rose, who's been dominating in this competition so far this season, and showing some really awesome pace. But in the Red Bull, no better than, he does get in the front row, but no better than 2nd place. So let's do the full qualifying rundown. For Williams, it's Pink Eye on pole position. Rose joins him on the front row in the Red Bull. Row 2 will be Ferrari and Aston Martin in the form of Pro Striker and Bingram. Oni Jimmy in the AlphaTauri, Sir Gat for Williams on row 3. Row 4 is Blanks in the Alpha and Nat Backers in the Haas. Makes it and Rapid F1 both for Mercedes on row 5. Row 6, Tongo Prof in the McLaren with Tyler for Alpine alongside. Muikuli in the Ferrari and Komzar in the AlphaTauri are on row 7. Curry and Explicit Simo on row 8 in the Alpha and the Red Bull. Alpine and Hard in the form of Jay Hartnell Grog on row 9, and Jinxie or Jizzy and Andre at the back of the pack. There we go, caught up. 18 minutes late, but I caught up eventually. So we're here at Singapore. This is round number 7, season 5. And we can have a good, let's have another quick look at the, I want to have a look at the driver standings. There's a driver standing there. Rose, 287 points, leads the way from KVI Tony. And no Tony out there today, which will make for an interesting run-in. With Nat Packers out there, and she's on a 172. Makes is out there at 136, and that is a really, really solid performance from a reserve driver. Tongo Prof from McLaren outside the top 10 to start, so some work for them to do. But Tony's championship hopes are going to take a massive blow here today, with him not running and Rose being on the front row. So could extend that lead at the top of the championship. So waiting for everyone to be ready and to go ahead. Night race, of course, at Singapore, and it does bring some brilliant racing here. And there is a more than average chance of a safety car. The walls are very tight. It's an incredibly tight circuit, and just one little mistake and you will find bits of carbon fibre all over the racetrack, and cars into walls and people practically dead. But we'll see how we get on. I would like to think that we can go at least half a race without a safety car today, but with it being Singapore, it's incredibly unlikely that it's going to go too far. Now, turn one, particularly on a track like this where the walls are so close, you've got to be a little bit careful into turn one. You've just got to kind of look after your, make sure your braking zone's right. If you have to brake a little bit earlier than you ordinarily would, then do so. Just to make sure you get into that turn, you don't go in too hot, and you're not taking 6 or 7 cars down the road with you. So often we see into turn one, particularly at complicated circuits like this, that people just go in too hot, try to nick a place here or there at the beginning of the race, and it can go wrong for many people. And often it doesn't really go wrong for that person, it's other people that get to suffer. But we will see how it goes this time out. I'm sure people will be really careful this time. These guys know what they're doing. I was going to say they're professionals, but they're not. I'm only joking. Right, so here we go. We'll do the formation lap, of course, and then we'll be underway here at Singapore. 20 drivers out there. Green lights are on, and off we go for the formation lap. And we'll do a full row. So there is Pink Eye lead about. Will be on pole position. Rose in the Red Bull will be joining on that front row with Pro Striker or Boston Shooter, whichever one you want to do. On row 3 in the Ferrari. Bingham in the Aston Martin joins him on row 2. Oni Jimmy in the AlphaTauri is heading up row 3 with Sir Gat in the Williams. Blanks in the Alfa Romeo on row 4 with Nat Packers for company. Makes it up in the Mercedes-Benz is just ahead of Rapid F1, also in the Mercedes-Benz. The Rapid F1, of course, is, or was going into the season a favourite for a potential championship. Not been able to get it dialed in so far this season by for any real length of time. So hoping to see a resurgence from Rapid F1 towards the end of the season. Tongo Prop, usually there or thereabouts, but today not inside that top 10 in that McLaren. But, with safety cars and whatnot, we could certainly expect to see some improvement. Tyler in 12th place has got Moy Quilly in the Ferrari just behind. I don't know why I jumped on Tyler that quickly. Tyler in the Alpine, running in 12th. Yeah, Moy Quilly's in the Ferrari just behind. There's Komzar in the second AlphaTauri in 14th place. And just seeing heading around now into sector 3 before they will get that to go. There's Curry in the Alfa Romeo just behind Komzar. It looks like most cars actually started on the medium compound tyres. And as we say that, there's Conspiracy who just wants to prove that Ryan Connors and he's starting on the hard compound tyre. From 16th place in the second Red Bull. Jay Hartnell in the other Alpine, also starting on the hard compound tyres from 17th. Grog, I should know what it is from YouTube and not your own tongue. In the Haas, also on the hard compound tyre. Jizzy is starting from the... Oh, that was close. That was really close. 19th place on the medium compounds. And Andre in the McLaren on the hard compound tyres. Right, let's go on board here. Let's go with Nat for the lights. That's your 5 lights. The lights will go out, and we are away here at Singapore. Anyone with a phenomenal start? Well, there's a great start. A couple of cars back. Look at the Alpine streaming through into turn 1. Everyone through safely, 3 abreast. Actually into turn 1 there, but that was really, really good racing from everybody. And we get through and everyone's alive. How about that? That's a great start. Let's get some info up. Tyre info. So a couple starting on the soft compound tyres. Notably Blanks, who is in 5th, and Tyler in 13th place. And that will give them a really good opportunity to push forward. Curry is already out of this race. Is this already a safety car? No, it's a virtual safety car here on lap 1. So it'll just negate the race for a little bit. They'll slow down, get themselves in order, and they'll just clear up those bits of curry on the racetrack. As you can see, it's stricken. They're just in sector 1 and bing, disappears. So, one sector of racing for Curry, and they're back into the pit garage to have a cup of coffee and think about their life choices. Pink Eye is in the lead, of course. No real big changes. 3 places gained for Grog. That's not bad from the start. Bearing in mind the race got negated at the end of sector 1. 2 places gained for Blanks on the soft compound tyres, doing exactly what he needs to do on those soft, which is get them working early doors, make a few places up. No DRS, of course, until lap 3 here. Sir Gat started 6th, is 6th. Jimmy loses a couple of places, as did Rapid F1. Excuse me, and it's Mr. Simo. 3 places lost for him. Curry lost 5 places, but he's going to lose in the mix. Pro Striker gets back up into 3rd place, and the Ferrari. And Blanks on a bit of a charge in the Alfa Romeo. Up 3 places to 4th place already in this race, and looking to really capitalise on those soft compound tyres. If you're running the softs, it is a 2-stop race, and I think those on the softs are gambling on an early safety car. And if there is a safety car in the next sort of 3 or 4 laps, it's really going to play into their strategy. Because they can go back and go to the pits, get a nice free pit stop before everybody else, and really push on from there if the opportunity arises. 31 laps here at Singapore, and it's a really beautiful racetrack. Surrounded by cages, of course, because you don't need to throw the car into architecture that's old, and but it's one of those racetracks that you really can't switch off. There is a sort of saying that some racetracks are, come out one corner straight to another, which I always found a bit stupid because it kind of makes sense, because that's what racetracks are about. Racing against car, and just going over and over, and there's never a problem. But it kind of does apply there, because literally as soon as you're getting on the gas for one corner, you're thinking about braking for the next. There's no really long straights to kind of try and tuck in, try and get some slipstream, try and use some DRS to a great advantage, that kind of thing. You really are thinking every time about your next braking zone. It's almost upon you, almost as soon as you're on the gas out of the previous corner. And trading fastest lap there on lap 3. That is Pink Eye still in the lead. Half a second up from Rose. Rose will not allow Pink Eye just to pull away. He's the championship leader for a reason and will want to stay there. Pro Striker getting involved there. We saw Pro Striker doing a really good job on Tuesday. First time obviously across the tutor, of course. I think in the end he ended up with a DNF. I can really remembering shit. There's Blanks up 3 places still, vying for a place in that top 3, but in good position to do so. Bingram in 5th. There's Sir Gat running just 1.1 seconds back in 6th place. And when DRS does become available to them, he's only just inside that DRS zone. Jimmy is within that 1 second window of Sir Gat. Makes him 7/10 back in 8th place. Nat Packers already started to drop off a little bit. So we can see the kind of top 4 have made a little gap to Bingham. And then there's a little train going back to Nat Packers in 9th. Then it's Nat Packers, Tongo Prof, Tyler, Rapid F1, Comzar, all in a bit of what would be a huge DRS train all the way through there. And there are 2 DRS zones here at Singapore, one in sector 1 and the other in sector 2, detection zones. Moi Cooley running in 14th place. Mrs. Simo is also now retired from this race. So 2 retirements early on. And we've got to lap 4 without safety car. That's a good sign here at Singapore. We haven't broken any walls or broken any bones just yet. Grog, YouTube. I'm going to have a look at your YouTube later and see what it is really about Grog. 8/10 back from Moi Cooley running in 15th. Jake Hartnell in 16th place. Jizzy, there he is. Still hasn't changed his PlayStation name. Unacceptable. You've got a new name. You must change it. It's the rules. Otherwise, I'm going to put 9/10 back from Jay Hartnell. And Andre brings up the rear. 1.4 seconds back in the McLaren. But at the moment, it's all about Pink Eye and Rose and Pro Striker all really starting to ramp up the pressure out in front. And bearing in mind that Blanks behind them is on the soft compound tyre, they're doing a really good job of keeping him at bay. Pink Eye on the hard compounds, as we can see there. Rose also on the hard compounds. And Pro Striker on the mediums. So being on the medium tyres, he'll really want to get, if he can, ahead of these two quick drivers in front of him, ahead of Rose, ahead of Pink Eye, and just get the most out of those medium tyres if he can. I'm sure Blanks as well will want to try and make some inroads. But the benefit, obviously, for these front runners being on those hard compound tyres, of course, is that if they can hold the cars behind them at bay, when it comes to the first pit window, they're going to be able to build a nice little gap to those cars behind them. And of course, be on a much faster compounded tyre towards the end of the race. And look at that DRS train. Rose, Pro Striker, Blanks, all using that DRS to try and close on Pink Eye. But Pink Eye doing a phenomenal job at the moment at just keeping those cars behind him. It's essentially maintaining a really, really solid 5/10 gap. Not pulling away by any stretch of the imagination, but not allowing anyone to get close enough to use DRS or use slipstream to make a decent move up the inside come one of these little corners. Now, there's not many places to overtake Singapore. It's a really difficult track to do that. It's very tight, the rules are very close. And it can be a big risk to try and chuck one up the inside at most of these corners. But that's not to say that if someone doesn't go wide, you should not take that opportunity, because absolutely fortune favours the brave. Pink Eye running in the lead of this race for Williams Racing. He is still half a second ahead of Rose. Pro Striker half a second behind. Blanks gained 3 places. Big winner take well. Grog gained 4, doing well as well, back in 14. But Blanks up in 4th place, and they're just starting now. You can see that gap really pulling away now from the rest of the pack. 2.7 seconds back to Bingham, who's getting dropped by about 3 or 4 tenths a lap at the moment by those front runners. And but at the moment, not really under any pressure. It's already kind of a bit of a relaxed race for people. They don't have to push too hard and try and get after those top 3, but they haven't got Jimmy bearing down on them. It's only 1.7 seconds. But Bingham, despite not being under any pressure, has picked up a 3-second time penalty for taking the piss with the track limits. You can't do it, man. You've been warned, and you'll be warned again, and you'll be warned again, and then you'll get a smack on the bottom. He makes it. He's in 7th place. That's 7 tenths back from Jimmy. Tongo Prof, though, he's made up 3 places. He's got himself into that top 10. Is he able to make a move on Makes it? It's really, really close. And with those better tyres, can he get that traction just to find a way through? It all seems very kind of subdued, very calm, very serene at the moment. No one's really giving it super full beans by the looks of things. Everyone just seems to be kind of quietly going about their business. And I think you need evidence about it. But Tongo Prof was within 2 tenths of Makes It, but now not quite so close. With that, DRS does get a little bit closer, but not able to find a way through. Which is Makes It's not leaving any gaps, which doesn't help. But ultimately, travelling the dirty air of that car, after a while, it starts to really make things difficult. It can make your front end a little bit unstable when you've got that dirty air going across the front of your car. But also, it can be a bit soul-short, particularly if you feel you're faster. So if Tongo Prof, comes out the corners and he gets close, he has to back off into every corner. It does get a bit frustrating. You get to the stage and it's like, why am I bothering? How do I get past this guy? it's so that when you're racing in those kind of things, it is really, really frustrating. There's Tyler in the top 10. He's 1.4 seconds behind Tom Petrov, and 1.7 seconds clear of Nat Packers in the Haas, who's just inside that top 10. 2 places lost already. Sir Gat, who is currently running in 18th and last place, just putting the fastest lap of the race. And Rapid F1 makes a move on Nat Packers, and she cannot stop him. Through he goes. Komzar is in 12th place, 7/10 back. And it's 1.5 seconds to Boy Quilly in the Ferrari. Pink Eye and Rose still winning this race. They're still ahead. Pro Striker and Blanks in 4th. Jay Hartnell running in 14th. He's in the Alpine. He's 2.2 seconds back from Boy Quilly in the Ferrari. And he's got a little train forming behind him, and that is Grog in the Haas. Jizzy in the Aston Martin Cognizant. Andre in the McLaren, of course. And Sir Gat in the Williams. I think Sir Gat has been into the pits, has he not? He has indeed been into the pits. He was on the soft compound tyre. Or was he? No, it's just Tyler was on soft compound tyre. So he's been in maybe to repair some damage then. So soft tyre runners are Blanks and Tyler, both trying to get them working for them, but it's not going so great anymore. Good evening, Jason. How the bloody hell are you, my friend? Good of you to join us. Just penalties for Big Room. That's 3 seconds for him. As it stands at the moment, that will drop him down behind Tom Goproff, just ahead of Tyler. Of course, this is only lap 8 of 31. Plenty of racing left to go. Wrong button, you're better. Right. Pink Eye still leads the way. Him and Rose just starting to edge away now from Pro Striker in the Ferrari. It's red. It's literally not that hard. Talking of Ferrari, apparently they're very, very confident. I've got a friend who works in F1, and the news is that they are very, very confident about this season. But more confident. I mean, look, Ferrari are always confident about this season, but this is a different sort of confidence. This is a confidence with purpose. We'll soon see. I mean, it could have been contesting, which is next weekend, I believe, or something along those lines. So Pink Eye and Rose just still maintaining a half-second gap, and Pro Striker still getting involved, and that is Bingram. What's going on with him? Whatever happened there, he's going very, very, very slowly. Blanks into the pits. Now on the medium compound tyres. Is Bingram back in this race? Yes, they are. But they've lost significant races. That's going to cost them a lot. And with that 3-second penalty, now they're not looking at being somewhere around Tongo Prof or Tyler. They're looking at being somewhere around Blanks or Sir Gat. And going into the pits now. And that's a retirement from Bingram. So Bingram is out of this race. So they can come and join us on the stream and tell us what they think in the chat. So Sir Gat coming through, moves up to 17th place. So there we go. We were expecting it was a 4, and then Blanks obviously on those soft compound tyres goes into the pits and makes it a 3. Pink Eye, Rose and Pro Striker. Pink Eye and Rose on the hard compound tyres. Pro Striker running on those mediums. So it's a 1-stopper if you're using softer mediums. It's a 2-stopper if you dare to use some soft compound tyres. Last off so Pink Eye and Rose, if they can, the longer they can stay out ahead of Pro Striker on the harder compound tyres, the better it's going to be for them later on in the race when they do switch to the medium compounds, because the cars behind just aren't going to have the traction out the corners to do anything about it. What I will say at the moment though, that Rose, the current champion, or the current championship leader, should I say, would usually be expected to be battling it out right now with KVI Tony. KVI Tony not out there today will not improve his position at second in the championship. So, although Rose would love to finish first and get the maximum points, that's not to say that actually he won't be in a really good position anyway, as long as he finishes somewhere around that sort of top 3 or 4. Tyler jumping into the pits to get rid of those soft compound tyres. Didn't really work out that well for either him or Blanks as yet. Once we start to see other cars go in for their pit window, I think then we'll get a better idea. Good evening, Dan. How are you, my friend? Good to see you, buddy. It's looking good out there. I'll tell you what, I think it's a good white shirt. It feels like the easy to the other side. It should be more comfortable than it is. Pink Eye currently running in the lead. There's Rose running in second, and Pro Striker in third place. No change to those three, and they're really starting to pull a gap now on the rest of the pack. There is Maxier in fourth place. He's in the Mercedes-Benz, and he's just 8 tenths ahead of Jimmy, who's got Tongo Prof crawling all over him. The Tongo Prof moved up into the top 6, and he qualified in 11th, but he's moved up into the top 6, and he's starting just to ramp up that pressure on Jimmy in front of him. But as we know, it's so difficult to overtake it. So you really need to wait for the car in front and put enough pressure on the car in front for them to make a mistake. Or alternatively, you can just chuck it up the inside and hope you don't die. Rapid F1 is in 7th place in the Mercedes-Benz. 2.3 seconds back though from that battle, just ahead. Gutted, absolutely gutted, Ben. Feeling for you, man. It's such a nightmare when it happens, isn't it? I mean, obviously you've got Phil for Curry making through sector 1 without retiring. But, yeah, I suppose it depends how much rear wing damage you've got and how bad it's going to affect the race. And whether it's worth doing all the players like that. It's quite an unforgiving racetrack here because the walls are kind of right on top of you. The slightest little wobble or error or problem, and there's not a lot you can really do about it. So we've got 4 retirements from this race so far. It is Curry who lost in sector 1, lap 1, right at the beginning of this. Explicitissimo is DNF. Bingham, rear wing damage, is now out of the race, but has come to join us on the stream, of course. And Sergat is out as well. Nat Packer's running in 8th place behind Rapid F1, 1.5 seconds. Experiencing a little bit of pressure from behind Bicom Zone. Mui Kuli is 1.6 back with a penalty as well, which is not going to help with keeping a run from Jay Hart. Whenever I do this, Bixby just loves to try and find shit for me that I don't even fucking know. Jay Hartnell put 2.7 seconds back in the Alpine, and these guys at the back are really spread out. Binks moves up into 13th place, started on the soft compound tyre and made a little blast forward up into 4th. Has obviously had to pit earlier because being on the soft compound tyre, but will outlast everybody else on the racetrack with these mediums now. Grog just ahead, 9 tenths ahead. That's going to be the next target. As Jay Hartnell making the move on Omni Jimmy, as Omni Jimmy goes into the pits, so it makes it a nice easy move. There's Jizzy into the pits. Don't make a mess all over the pit carriage, Nat said if she doesn't get top 3, she'll get me a pint. See, you said that last time, and I don't know how true that is. So if she doesn't get top 3, she'll get me a pint. But to be fair, she's in 7th. And if you look at Pink Eye, Rose and Pro Striker, at this moment in time, you can't see beyond them 3 for the 3 podium places. So it looks like I'm getting 3 drinks, man. We'll see if that actually happens. So there is your top 3. There's Pink Eye leading them out. Rose just behind from Jamaica. Rose's been so phenomenal. It really has been a case of can we beat Rose. I know you're right, a safety car can change everything. And there is, I mean, we haven't had one yet. We went to BSC, we don't think we can. But someone's bound to die at some stage. There are walls, and there are people, and yeah, people and walls in fast cars don't generally go that well together. Mexia is running in fourth, best of the rest, but it's 8.3 seconds is the gap already. Even if there is a safety car, I'll tell you what, it won't show the top three. Because if there's a safety car now with that gap of 8.3 seconds, they'll be back out. They'll be able to get out of the car and have a cup of coffee and get back in and be back out in front of Mexia in those top three. Tongo Prof up to fifth place, 1.3 seconds back now, just starting to spread out a bit. That could be just backed off a little bit, isn't it? To put too much load through his tyres, let them last as long as possible. So lap 13 of 31. This is Smoking Pirellis Racing Club. This is the Thursday Tier 1, season number 5, round number 7. Fat breaking a beer plate, that coming. You're absolutely right, it is. This is Black Flag Racing TV, brought to you by Black Flag Racing and Club Leaf, and of course, my friends at Cinema Pro. We do all of our race league management, and check them out, brethren. Also check out Club Leaf if you don't want to kill the planet. I've been told to I would rather stab it in the bum with my points off. I didn't say that. Didn't say that. There at the back of the pack, there is Jizzy in his Aston Martin. Has been into the pit, so will be running. Do these hard compound tyres go that long? Do they do 20 laps? Only time will tell. Well, we'll find out in 7 laps time when the hard tyre runners are still on the hard tyres. Jimmy, not to be confused with Timmy, running in 15th, 8.5 seconds back from Tyler, who is not a Tyler. He might be a roofer, but he's not. I said he's not a Tyler. I don't actually know that for a fact. It would be pretty cool if he was. If he was, it'd be like a children's TV character, Tyler the Tyler. Isn't Tyler one of the dogs out of Paw Patrol, or is that the kid down on Flyer? Ignore me. The kids are apart from one, but mustn't be. Andre, I digress. Andre in the McLaren, 2.9 seconds back from Grog. Yeah, Tarantula. 6 seconds back from Blanks. I was calling him Binks Rangers, but now I know he's called Blanks. Name. 1.2 seconds back in that Alfa Romeo. Behind, of course, the ever beautiful Jaguar. I don't know why I just said that. I have no idea that is what is actually. Might be a proper mount-off. If anyone can find that, would be great. 2.2 seconds back from Moikuli, who has glorious penalty for driving. Komzar is half second back from Nat Packers in the top 7. As finishes there, we get beers. It's true, it must be because it's written in the chat. And if it's written in the chat, it's like a science book in that it is actual fact forever and will be taught as part of the national curriculum for all time. 1.1 seconds ahead is Rapid F1. Good to see Rapid F1 running in that end of the field for a change. Too many races in Rapid F1 just not been up there and getting involved. Tongo Prof, we're about to find out where he was. I'll tell you where he is now. He's in pits, getting some fresh rubber dubber dubber on this one. So we're taking off the he's putting on the white ones, the hard compound tyre. That's the one. Thank you very much. Makes it 4th place, 7.5 seconds back from this lead pack, and Pro Striker now just dropping off those front two. Did he have a bit of a problem? I think talking rubbish. So Pink Eye and Rose just starting to run away with this now. It was 5, then it was 4, then it was 3. Now it's just the 2. And what a 2 these are, because they are literally all over each other. Like a couple of council estate teenagers at the end of the night in a nightclub, all over each other. Pink Eye and Rose, of course, Prostituta or Pro Striker, whichever way you want to read it. 2.5 seconds back from the battle in the Ferrari. But at the moment, comfortably 7 seconds clear of makes it in 4th place. Shall we do an onboard lap with Pink Eye once Pink Eye gets one? Let's do this thing. So you round that final corner, on the power you go in the Williams, if you're driving the Williams of course. You head down sticking to its right hand side. This is your first big turn into turn 1. Turn 1 becomes turn 2, becomes turn 3 very quickly in that S formation. Then you sweep round what they probably call turn 4. Then you head down to what is actually turn 4 because you do get some brakes. And then you head down first DRSO. Your rear wing will open unless you're a Williams in the lead, and then it won't. Sweeping round to the right, then you've got this left hand zone, 50-metre ball, get on those brakes, get that apex nice and early, use all that road, you can be brave there, you've got a bit of road to play with. Then immediately upon you becomes this right-hander, which takes you down to another corner, left-hander, literally that succession, another sort of S succession, and it's Rolex everywhere, except for we're happy to take some cash anyway. And then we've got another little combo, another left, another right, another left combo. You just feather that throttle, look after your gears all the way through. We get on the power again, right, and then a big left-hander, switching back almost 180 degrees on itself, and then back on the power into that DRS zone. Not much of a DRS zone. It's so short it doesn't actually serve anything. I think the 2 DRS zones are live with 3 because I forgot that one there. And then we've got this another little left-right combo, followed by another left. And then the same again here. It's left, it's a right as you go under this crazy looking bridge. Under the DHL side, another right hand turn. Straight away into this left hander. And then your DRS detection zone. There it is. Boop. He turns into the pits after 16 laps on the hard tyres. And Rose is away into the lead of this race. Can he stay? A bit of DRS as well. Very helpful if the car in front of you's just gone into the pits and didn't get any. Very, very helpful indeed. So Rose 10.7 seconds clear now. Makes it running, was in 4th place. But Pink Eye's gone into the pits. Pro Striker's been into the pits. Who is running what tyres, Andy? I hear you ask. None of your business, I tell you. But I will anyway. So, Rose 16 laps on those hard compound tyres, as makes here, and rapid F1 in the top 3 for one of the first times this season actually, if I remember rightly, if my memory serves me well. Don't often see them. Nat Packers also on those hard compound tyres, 16 laps in. They're going to start to look a little bit ropey at this stage. Blanks back up to 5th place. Bear in mind, those 4 cars in front will all go into the pits. And we could well see Blanks taking the provisional lead of this race, having started on the soft compound tyres. So, do you know what? Don't count this guy out for a potential podium spot. Because, obviously, the cars in front will need to go in. I'll tell you what would be ideal now is for them to go in. And then when they come out, a nice little juicy safety car, straight after they've come out. He'll be well pleased with that she's in. Well, no, he will if they really pit this, because he can go in and change it up. Jay Hartnell is 3.3 seconds back in 6th place. 16 laps also on those hard compound tyres, as has Konzar. Pink Eye comes back out onto the medium compound tyre. Now, Pink Eye started on the hard compound, running after 16 laps. Those, based on that, those tyres are not going to take him to the end of this race. If he couldn't make the hards last, certainly not going to make those last. Does make a move though, past Konzar up into 7th place in this race. What is going on with him, but I will sort it out. Pro Striker, 9th place, out on the hard compound tyres now. Can he run those to the end of the race? Well, based on math, which is never my strong point. If the cars out there have already done 17 laps on the hard tyres and haven't crashed into a wall and burst into a big ball of Grosjean-shaped flame, I can't believe I just went there. Too soon? Then I think we'll be alright. But it really is dependent on what Rose and everyone else can do on those mediums. So Rose has pit. Rose back out in 7th place behind Pink Eye. Order is restored. They are back to where they were before they pit. But Rose out a little longer, a lap longer essentially. So it looks like 16, 17 laps is the life limit of those hard compound tyres. So if you are on the mediums, you're not going to the end of this race, surely. So I think these guys are again just some soft and rub-a-dub-dub. However, I'm trying to look at who's done. So Blanks has done 10 laps on those medium compound tyres. So we'll get a good look at and see what those mediums are capable in the hands of Blanks, who's now up or back up to 4th place where they were when they pit. All those laps ago were 11 laps. So let's have a little look at the back of the pack. What is going on? Because there's my mate Jizzy. He is 24 seconds back on the hard compound tyres. That's Jay Hartnell jumping into the pits and Grog as well. Moy Cully, 3 laps on those medium tyres, 25 seconds ahead. Bit more now, just jumped in, Jay Hartnell jumping in. Then Moy Cully moving up to 13th place. Unlucky for some, don't crash. Jimmy is 5.7 seconds up the road, and he is crawling all over the back of Andre. Can he find a way through? He is so much quicker. He's got that DRS. They go side by side. Jimmy makes the move, gets that move done, makes it look easy. It's almost as though Andre wasn't even there as he breezed past that AlphaTauri. He's like, what's that? Oh, what's that orange thing? And Jimmy up to 11th place. Next target, Tongo Prof, 3.8 seconds up the road. There he is. He is the other target. 1.8 seconds behind Tyler. 3.7 in the RP. Is the distance between him and Komzar. 18 laps now on those hard compound tyres for makes it wrapping up one. Now Packers, Komzar, Andre, all really getting great move out of those tyres. I'm sure Goodyear will be very, very disappointed in that time. He's otherwise it wouldn't be called smoking Pirellis, you fucking band. Pro Striker was 3rd for some significant time. Not anymore. Nat Packers goes into the pits after 19 laps on those hard compound tyres, dropping way down. Makes it a rapid F1, staying out. Komzar also staying out. Pro Striker in behind Rose. So Pink Eye, Rose, Pro Striker all together again, although this time Pro Striker is 4.5 seconds back. But Rose sticking to Pink Eye. You have to wonder whether Rose has just something else in the tank. And they are just behind Blanks, holding them off. How long can Blanks keep them at bay? We'll need to pit again at some stage, Blanks. I imagine we'll see him coming in probably with 8 for the soft compound tyre. How long can he hold them up for? That's the question. Can he hold them up for enough time to make it difficult? Well, the answer to that question is so far, yes. And Rose making the move on Pink Eye, maybe? No, Pink Eye, he does make the move on Pink Eye, doesn't stick though. Or does it? It does! Rose makes the move on Pink Eye. Initially Pink Eye held on, and then Rose said nope, and just put on that afterburner and got himself into 4th position. Good move from Rose. So starting to make that little move forward now. This new boy Pink Eye, I'm not having none of your shit, he says. He says, I've been here, I'm the top dog. So move over and let me through, and I will demonstrate why I'm the top dog. And Pink Eye says, I don't give a shit, man. I want some of that shizzle for myself. But has to back out after screwing up that corner. And now finds himself behind Blanks. Rose ahead of Blanks. 5.5 seconds behind Blanks there, who's done 20 laps now on those compound tyres. So we'll see Rose very soon taking the lead of this race. And we have made it 21 laps without a safety car. Who likes some of that shit? Tell me what I do, because I get bored of watching the Aston Martin drive around very slowly with Burt Mylander in it and thinking about how old he is. So Rose ahead of Pink Eye. Makes that, Pink Eye does make that move around Blanks in the end. Blanks done 13 laps on those medium compound tyres. And we'll jump in very soon for some more of the soft stuff. Pro Striker losing out 2.6 seconds behind Blanks. Will obviously regain that place on those hard tyres and should run to the end of this race. But being on the hard tyres, it's a big ask to catch up with those two quick boys who are de facto first and second. Hamza, 5.3 seconds back in 6th place on the hard compound tyres. Tyler chasing him down, half a second back as well to Tongo Prof, who's on the hard compound tyres. 11 laps Tyler's done on those mediums. Very likely Tyler's going to have to put again for some more rubber. Cannot see them going another 9 laps without killing him. Tongo Prof's on the hard, he'll go to the end of this race. So when Tyler goes in, he's going to gain a few places. There's potentially a top 5 in the cards for Tongo Prof. And starting in 11th place, that is not too darn shabby, if I do say so myself. Omni Jimmy, I'm Omni Jimmy. Are you Omni Jimmy? I'm not Omni Jimmy, but he's Omni Jimmy. He is 6 seconds back from Moikuli. Moikuli also on the medium tyres, 3.6 seconds back, and rounds out the top 10, of course. Rapid F1. Not being so rapid F1 today as Tyler makes the move on Komzar up into 6th position. Komzar and Menty have done 21 laps on those hard compound tyres. They are being incredibly miserly with those tyres, and it won't be long actually, it'll be another lap before they can realistically go onto the soft compound tyres and give it some beans. So that'll be interesting to see where they drop in. And that is Rose. I think it's Rose making a move on Makes It. No, he just makes the move on the racetrack. How long can Makes It hold Pink Eye off? And not that he'll want to, of course. Not that he'll want to do it for Rose's sake, but he'll want to do it for his own, of course. But there is Pink Eye trying to make the move. He's looking for any opportunity. Bear in mind that Makes It in front of him is 21 laps on those hard compound tyres. So we're looking to Komzar or Makes It to absolutely cut him off the position. And Pink Eye makes that move in the end because Makes It into the pit. Pink Eye is through. But he's already 2 seconds back from Rose. So that was brilliant move from Rose to get round Makes It and just start opening up that gap. We've lost Curry, Explicit Simo, Big Room and Sir Gat from this race already. We still have 16 runners, and I'm going to be brutally honest, I did not expect us to have 16 cars at this stage here at Singapore. I thought that at least 7 or 8 cars would be dead by now. So credit to these guys keeping on the racetrack and making some great overtakes as well. Always love a bit of that shit. Makes It back out of the pits, battling it with Nat Packers. And that's a 3-way battle in a minute. Rapid F1. 2.9 seconds up the road, but it's Nat Packers. Makes It and Jay Hartnell all duking it out for that place just outside the top 10. And you know you're not having a great day of races when your battle is outside the top 10. Makes It, of course, though, on those soft compound tyres and can push. There is another penalty for Jizzy. 3 seconds for Tongo Prof. Jimmy behind, 6 seconds penalty for him. That will won't affect Tongo Prof's position, but Jimmy will drop somewhere behind Nat Packers, I think. So they might actually promote Nat Packers, as it stands, of course, into the top 10. With Moy Cully and Rapid F1 as well having penalties, that helps a little bit too. 3 seconds for Andre and Jizzy at 8 seconds worth of penalties. And that is a retirement from Pro Striker. Really expected to see Prostituter make it, and that's a lot of fun. And here is the safety car, and I'll tell you who's in a really going to be really pleased with that. Because if we have a look right here, Blanks straight away into the pits. Tyler, I think you see Tyler jumping into the pits. We do indeed. Komzar, 22 laps on those hard compound tyres, welcoming this nice cheap pit stop. Jimmy nicking one as well. Moy Cully having a nice cheap pit stop too. Loads of them jumping in. But I think Blanks is in the right position. Pro Striker just giving an opportunity for Blanks to get onto, and he's gone for the medium tyres, which is strange because he's already run the mediums and he's run the softs. We could run the softs again. Is it? I don't know what the thinking is behind it, because he did 8 laps on the softs, and you're going to have 3 or 4 laps under the safety car when you're not putting super load through it. So I'm really surprised that he hasn't gone for the soft compound tyre. And I think it's a mistake, and I'll tell you why it's a mistake. One, he could have made it to the end of the soft tyre, that's obvious. Makes it, he's ahead of him on the soft compound tyre. He's going to find it really hard to catch him. Everyone's going to be bunched up as well now. Tyler is behind on the soft tyres. It might be 10 seconds now, but by the time this safety car comes in, it's not going to be 10 seconds anymore. Jimmy has put on intermediate tyres. Now, it's not even wet, is it? Have I missed something? Is this a masterstroke from him to put those intermediate tyres on? Because it doesn't look to me that there's any water on that racetrack. And what the hell is going on? Or has it threatened rain maybe? And he's gone for a bit of a gamble? Because that is not a wet racetrack. Cannot see any water out there at all. See no rain, there's no rain on the car, it's not raining at all. That racetrack is not wet. Jimmy is what they call in the business, because he's on the totally wrong tyres. Don't know how he managed to do that, yeah, that is a bang your head face palmer. I need a little face palmer thing to pop up like, pop up on the screen when someone makes a crazy move like that. And it's only twice now I've seen a driver that shouldn't put on soft compound tyres and races to put on intermediates. It's the second time I've seen it, believe it or not. The second time. First time in this country. The other time was the great BMW racing GT7. Cost himself a win and possibly actually that championship with that similarity. I suppose luckily for Jimmy it's not going to win the championship, but he's going to be honest. We're talking about Potter Ripper in on. I don't see where the water is though. I don't see any rain and the track doesn't look wet, but there are 2 people on intermediate tyres now, so are these guys preempting the weather and making a big gamble? Or has 2 people made a massive mistake? Because there's nothing out there. I must be missing something, because that can't be 2 cars making the same error. It must be that the weather is demonstrating there's going to be some rain, and they've gone for the big gamble that it's going to be wet by the time the safety car goes in, and they're going to be pretty darn quick. Jinxie has done the same thing, or Jizzy, so clearly they know something I don't. I need some weather, man. What's flooding? Why am I not getting no weather? This is where I need weather. I need some weather. I'm not getting any, and it annoys me. There's nothing so clearly there is dampness where I see none. And I mean, even looking on board there, I can't see. The lights aren't flashing and suggesting there's no moisture. It's just pure. I think it's purely got to be that we've had some rain advertised, and these guys have gone for the big gamble. Well, let's see how well this plays out. Well, look, if it works, it's very likely we could be speaking to Tongo Prof or Jimmy, or well, I'm not going to read it, but certainly we could potentially be speaking to Tongo Prof in the at the end of the race. And that is rapid F1 going on to the Inters. So it's got to be a weather forecaster, because unless it's raining, it's not showing any weather. But I can't see a thing. If someone could enlighten me as to what I'm missing, that would be awesome. But that doesn't look like in the slightest. Well, there we go. So they're all tucked up behind the AMG Mercedes. It's the safety car gives us a chance to have a full rundown. Rose leads the way. He's on the soft compound tyres. These leaders haven't got in, so obviously they're not so worried about this fake wetness that other people are seeing. Pink Eye running in second. Rose made a great move around Blanks. Got himself a bit of a distance, but Pink Eye is now closer. But on a slightly going for mediums rather than the softs. Nat Packers on medium tyres, going to run to the end of this race. Up to third place. I can't believe it. Look at my beer, man. Makes yards on the soft tyres and New Jury Sunshine to get Nat Packers out of the top three. If she's going to get me a point, she's got to do it, and she doesn't finish in the top three. So it makes it get on with that shit. You Blanks as well, just getting there just to make doubly sure. Medium tyres for them. Tyler in 6th place on the soft compound tyres. And there is the rain that we didn't see. So Tongo Prof has put on the intermediate tyres, preempting this rain. It was indeed a gamble. Tongo Prof, Jimmy, Rapid F1, Comzar and Jizzy have all gambled on this rain, and the race is going to start and the track is going to be slippy. Now, the only problem is that only really works if the people on soft tyres don't break their cars into a wall. Because if it's just going to be safety cars till the end, this is a gamble that probably won't really make a difference. I suppose that's the beauty of it. If all the cars on the slick tyres do go off the racetrack, die, crash, turn upside down, explode, whatever, then it doesn't really matter that they made this gamble onto the intermediates. And everyone diving in! And I said Tongo Prof could finish in the top 3 here. And there he is in 2nd place. And literally everybody, Pink Eye, Nat Packers, Rose, Blanks, Grog, Jay Harnell, Andre, Tyler, all diving into the pits to get themselves some intermediate tyres. So the gamble really, I think, is going to pay off from Tongo Prof. But he needs it to start now. He needs his safety car to come in at the end of this lap to get the most benefit out of it before those cars, particularly Rose, particularly Blanks has been looking for today, particularly Pink Eye, particularly Nat Packers, those cars behind that can put in a shift. Tyler as well, but Tyler's capable of putting in a shift before they catch up with the pack. And it's basically 8th downwards are nearly 6 seconds off the back of the pack, and Jizzy was plumb last. He's now sweetly sitting in 7th place. That's not too shabby, is it? That gamble really going to pay off. Now, the big problem here is going to be for Mateo and Wilkilly. How confident do they think they can be on those tyres on this track for what will essentially be hopefully a 4-lap shootout if the safety car comes in on this particular lap. And I'll tell you what, this is what's going to happen, is they're either going to dive into the pits and put on the intermediate tyres and wish they'd done it 3 laps ago, or they're going to stay out. Tongo Prof is going to take the lead of this race. They're going to crash because their tyres can't handle the moistness. And then we're going to finish the car on the safety car, and Tongo Prof is going to pick up 25 points just by having big, massive dangly balls and putting on some intermediate tyres, taking a risk. And look, it could have been a massive, massive risk. If this track is still dry and everyone's on the soft compound tyres going into the end of this race, and no one else dives in, Tongo Prof will be in trouble. No two ways about it. But he's now looking very, very good. Jimmy looking good. Rapid F1 potentially staring down at the top 3. Comes on, Jizzy, loads of them. Jizzy there in 7th. We'll probably get driver of the day. There we go. So the safety car is coming in, and we go racing, and we can only go. And already, Tongo Prof loses the place. What's going on? Omni Jimmy, what a move from Jimmy up into 1st place. There's a touch. Jimmy's facing the wrong way. What happened? That's a penalty for makes the corner cutting. Tongo Prof does take the lead of this race. Rapid F1 up into 2nd. It's all going off. Nat Packers up into 3rd. Rose What a move from him up into 4th. Comzar 5th. Jinxie up into 6th. That Mercedes-Benz cannot get back on the track. Jinxie already getting swallowed up by everybody. Pink Eye stuck behind in 8th place. Tongo Prof though does take the lead in this race. Didn't quite work out as I thought. Napak is making the move on Rapid F1. Rapid F1 back in that top 3 for the first time in God knows how long. But side by side with Napakers. And there's just 3 laps left of this race as Tyler makes a move on Andre. And it's Tom Go Prof from Napakers. We know all we want is the penalties, not anything else. And get them penalties up there so we can see what's going on. So Tom Go Prof, he's got a 3-second penalty. He needs to absolutely melt this. And Napakers is going to be buying some beers, brethren. There we go. 3 seconds clear is what Tom Go Prof needs. Tom needs to go fast now while Tom get wet. It's 1.2 seconds is the gap currently. He needs another 2.8 seconds. 10-second penalty for Makes here for drawing a new racetrack. And I think you have to be careful on them curbs in this weather. It went from very, very dry to moist as shit in next to no time at all. And this race has spun on its head. And Daniel Godfrey says safety car changes everything. What he means is rain fucks shit up. And that's exactly what's happened here. The rain has got involved and it has fucked shit up. And I'll tell you what, if you had looked beyond Pink Eye or Rose for the win here 5-6 laps ago, you would have been insane. But now look what's going on. Pink Eye in 7th place, Rose in 4th place. Neither of them actually looking on for a top 3 at the moment. Rose, I suppose, is in a better position. Jay Hartnell makes the move on Muy Gully. But Tongo Prof, he's your leader. He's 1.6 seconds now clear of Nat Packers in the Haas. Rapid F1. Good to see him in the top 3. That's a retire from Makes here. Does that bring out a safety car? Hell no, it doesn't. We continue racing. Rapid F1 is got a 3-second penalty though. So that might get, in fact, that will drop him out of the top 3. Rose hanging in there. What Rose needs to do is try and close that gap enough that when Tom Go Prof serves that 3-second penalty, he can nip in there and nick an extra place. But certainly he's on for 3rd just based on penalties right now, Rose. But that's it. It's only the penalties that are making a difference. This is lap 29 of 31. This is Singapore. It was very, very different. Just 7-8 laps ago, it looked very, very different. Now, Tom Go Prof. Tom got wet. Tom sensed rain. Tom got inters. Now Tom go fast. 1.6 seconds. He leads. He needs to just open it up by another 12 tenths. That's it. 12 tenths of a second is the difference between him winning this race and coming 2nd in this race, or potentially 3rd, depending on Rose's performance. Nat Packer's running in 2nd place. Rapid F1, 1.2 seconds back. He's got that 3-second penalty, which will put him firmly into the clutches of Rose and Comzar, and possibly even Blanks. So Blanks could find himself battling for a top 3 here. He's got to find his way past Comzar and Rose first though. Tyler running in 7th place. Pink Eye back in 8th place. And when Pink Eye led this race for so long, you were beginning to wonder if it was going to be a Lewis Hamilton Mercedes-Benz moment where nobody else was even going to get close. Clearly, to be fair though, I think it was more to do with the massive change in weather that just went. It just messed it up. Andre, 6 tenths back. He's got 3 seconds worth of penalties. Jizzy, he's got 8 seconds worth of penalties. He is literally just taking the piss with the penalties. Makes his retired from this race. Not surprised. He had so many penalties. He would still be serving them next week while we were all thinking about doing something different. Grog is in 11th place, 5.5 seconds back. Will jump Jizzy though, because Jizzy's got loads of penalties. Jimmy is out of this race. So we've lost Jimmy, Muikuli, Maitsia, Prostituta or Pro Striker, Sir Gat, Bingram, Explicit Summer, and Corey. Tongo Prof is 2.3 seconds clear. This is lap 30 of 31. Still needs to find another 8 tenths if he wants to win this race. 7 tenths is the gap now. 6 tenths. That's what he needs to find now. Can he continue to open up this gap? It's just half a second is what he needs from Nat Packers. He's pulling away from Nat Packers. She cannot keep up with him. She's going to get the top 3. She's going to buy beers. She's going to buy the beers. Nat Packer is gonna buy the beers. And Tom Go Prof leads this race. 3 tenths of a second. We're on lap 31. This is the final lap of the race. We are 3 sectors and about 15 corners away from potentially seeing Tom Go Prof take the top step for some time. It's been a while before we've seen him up there amongst the big boys, and this will change dramatically the championship table. I think that's something else occurring. Nat Packers needs to keep it within that 3 seconds. 2.8 seconds is the gap. Rapid F1 1.5 seconds back, but with that 3 second penalty, Rose is going to nick that from Rapid F1. The best Rapid F1 can hope for now is that Comzar is not going to be close enough when they cross that line. We're into Sector 2. Tongo Prof has beaten that 3 second gap. Can he maintain it? Nat Packer's got some work to do here. 3.2 seconds, 3.1 seconds. So much work to do. 3.4 seconds. Just can't keep up with Tom Go Prof. Tom Go fast. Tom Go gold. Tom Go top step. Tom Go very, very clever. The rain whisperer. He is the Wayne Whisperer. He's the rain whisperer. Tom Go Prof needs to change that name to Tom Predicts the Weather. Genius masterstroke to put on those intermediate tyres. There was me calling people a facepalm bellend for putting the tyres on, and they just had the information that I didn't, which was that it wasn't going to rain. And Tom Go Prof just made that right decision. And look how it's paying off. He crossed the line and takes the win here. Nat Packers takes the second step of the podium, buys everyone beers. Rose does take third. Good points for him. Comes on fourth. Rapid F1 loses out a couple of places in fifth. Blanks in sixth. Pink Eye in seventh. Tyler in eighth place. Andre in ninth. Jizzy will come home in 10th and has maintained an 8 second gap to Grog. Round a couple of applause for Grog 8.8 seconds back. We'll stay with Tom Go Prof because he deserves all the accolades. That was genius, my friend. Absolute, pure, unadulterated, top of the morning to you. Genius to put on those tyres when you want to, and you're damn straight. Take a picture of yourself, son, because you deserve it. How's about that shit then? No one expected that 10 laps ago. When we were at lap 21, we were looking and we were thinking, these guys just pull away, they're going to run this. There might be a little battle between Rose and Pink Eye, but in the end, the weather decided what was going to happen, and Tom Go Prof takes the top step of the podium. Nat Packers takes second, and great third place from Rose to essentially recover from not going into the pits early doors. So get in. Right, let's get some mofos in for an interview. I don't know whether I think I just did a little bit too quickly. So let's get some mofos in for some interviews because I want to know why I don't get that. I want to get that information. I want to get the same information that they do. My mouse is going haywire. Hang on, hold on, I'll call that. I'm going to change my battery. Give me a sec. I'll change the battery of my mouse. I've got a new computer coming this week, which is going to boost all this shizzle. It was very kindly donated to me by the very, very awesome guys that, from Black Flag Racing Team. They all clubbed together and put a shit ton together. I'm going to thank them individually when I get an opportunity to. But yeah, so they basically clubbed together and bought me a shit up computer for streaming. So it's going to be Awesome. Right, so there's your full rundown. Tongo Prof from Nat Packers. Rose in Red Bull comes home in third, and then there's some other people who did some other shit and finished in other places, and it was all good, and everyone was happy, and we all laughed. Right, interviews. Let's get some people involved in this. Back soon.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So we haven't got Tongo Prof. Tom went too fast after rain whispering and can't speak. Apparently, I don't know what the real reason is. But we do have Nat Packers and Rose. Rose, you came in third. I've got to say, what happened, mate? Because it looked like you and Pink Eye were absolutely running the show, and then the rain came in and fucked shit up.
Yeah. So pretty much, I think once we got into the mediums and I got ahead of Pink Eye, I think I was pretty much okay and would have won because I was getting away a little bit. But then do you know what the issue was when I pit for inters? Because the game just held me in my box and let everybody go past me before releasing me again. So I lost so many
pit boxes though in comparison to everyone else, because so many went in at the same time. It was bound to happen. It was just mental. I mean, I was saying, right, when I saw, I think it was Tongo Prof and one, I can't remember who the other one was, went on to the inters, and I thought they just fucked up, right? And it was like a massive cock up.
That's what I thought.
But clearly they obviously looked at the weather report and thought, I'm going to give this a crack. What have I got to lose? And the thing is, they wouldn't have had anything to lose, because if it had rained, right, and then everyone had crashed, they would have just finished in front anyway. If it hadn't, it still would have been quite hard to get past them, because it's a difficult track to pass on. So, I thought,
it was just an awkward one, really, because I think if there was no safety car, we would have ended probably, it would have rained most likely on the last lap or something like that, or even just after. But because we were out for so long, just trundling around the track at 80 miles an hour, it was just inevitable, really. And then just went downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot easier when you're a little bit further back as well in the pack to go for those ballsy strat decisions where you go on to something a little bit earlier, because you've not really got too much to lose. I'm not taking anything away from Tom at all, because he made the ballsy call and it paid off and it worked really well for him. Because I mean, the track conditions changed stupid quick.
Yeah.
Even when me and Rose came out of the pits, it was really, really, really slick. And by the time that the safety car came in, it wasn't that far off wet, to be honest. It was very, very, very low grip.
I think it was about 3 laps. I'm thinking, what? There's more and more people putting intermediates on. Is this? I thought the game was broken for a while. I do think they do need to change the commentator. Considering, surely the commentator will have some weather information. I think it'd be useful if they added that to the game, because then I wouldn't be calling people a bellend and telling them they needed a FaceTime moment. But no, good race. I mean, and to be fair, I mean, for you to get back in the top three, Rose, was a bit of a boon because it didn't look like it was going to happen after the safety car and all that. And Nat, you were trundling around there comfortably in sort of.
I was chilling.
And maybe hit the top 10 every now and again when someone went in the pits. But yeah, it just worked out perfectly for you in the end.
Well, there were two people that stayed out on slick tyres, and obviously didn't go terribly well for them on the restart. And I mean, I was in a party with Rosie and a bunch of the others, and to be honest, it was really hard concentrating because everyone kept needing like you think of Singapore and you go, oh yeah, there's going to be a safety car, and about 3 of them really needed a wee. For pretty much the whole race, so they just kept singing like, I need a wee, I need a wee, I need a wee, and like Singapore is the worst track to drive on when you're laughing.
Yeah,
literally,
the corner, innit? It's just crazy.
The whole time, me and Pinkai almost put each other in the wall like 5 times because we were laughing so much.
Because we were all in a party with each other, and one of the lads in tier 2, they had a safety car, and he left his mic on loud, and he ran to the loo really quickly, and literally you could hear him like get quieter and quieter, and just singing, I'm going to the loo, I'm going to the loo. Like you could just hear him vanish down the corridor, and all of us were trying so hard not to grace, and it was so hard. Because there must have been about 10 of us in there, and like, it was hysterical.
It could be worse. My number 2 at Black Flag went for a wee the other day with his headset still on.
Oh yeah, I've heard quite a few people in SPLC go for a wee. Quite a few. Yeah. But no, I'm like, one of the guys that was on stuff spun, and I was quite lucky where everyone in front of me had to stop, where the ghosting hadn't kicked in. By the time I got there, I hadn't really got anywhere I could go anyway, but the ghosting literally just kicked in when he was parallel about to T-bone me. So I just sort of was like, I'm dead anyway. So I just kept my foot in it and it ghosted. So then I ended up from like P8 into like P3 because everyone else had to stop.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was. I can't remember who it was. Someone made a mad move and made like 6 or 7 places after the safety car. It might have been Jay Hartnell or something like that. But they didn't last very long. They kind of got out in front and then it all went horribly wrong when people started spinning and disappearing all over the place. But no, that was a great race. Really enjoyed that. And usually Singapore is basically just following an AMG around for
it was quite nice because the grid was, even though there hadn't been a safety car, the grid wasn't massively spread out. So there was a lot of battling to and from the whole grid. And then obviously like I was just chilling in like my P10 going, oh shit, I've buffed this grid too much. I've made it hard for myself. And then the safety car came out, and I don't know how I got P2, to be completely honest with you. Because I was just Rosie's really angry.
Because of EA. I fucking hate this guy. Oh my god.
Rosie's not happy. You've won enough.
I was sitting there spamming the throttle, like, why is it not letting me out? And then all I see to my right is like 5 cars just go slowly past me, like in the pit lane. I was like, yep, that's it. True. I'm actually gonna put the clip in the chat afterwards. This varies.
Do you want me to put a rip in the comments for you? Oh no, I'm only leading the championship by like 50 points now. Did you know that the main person you're fighting in the championship didn't even race today? You'll live. You'll be fine.
Yeah, Tony didn't turn up today, did he?
Yeah, no, Tony couldn't make it today, so I'm closing the gap, bitch.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I'm so far off the base.
I'm shaking in my boots. I'm sorry.
This is down.
Are you liking having Pinkai in though? Because Pinkai's your sort of speed, so you're having a good scrap with him.
Yeah, he's literally like, we pretty much followed each other for the entire race, and we didn't like I didn't fall out of his DRS once, and yeah.
I think there was about 10 laps where you were within 4 to 5 tenths for the whole 10 laps between each other, and I think you lucked out when you both came up on blanks again, and you managed to get past, and he got stuck behind him for about half a lap, and that gave you that 2-second gap.
Yeah, it was it was like when who was it? I think it was Makes It in the Mercedes. When I got past him, Pink Eye got stuck behind him, so I managed to like gain like 2 seconds, and then I thought it was job done, but yeah,
and then the rain comes in and it all goes.
The rain came in.
Well, anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. I'll see you guys next week.
See you later, lovely.
Laters.
Oh,
So there we have it. That was Nat Packers and that was Rose. Great finish to that race. Gotta love a bit of rain. You know, I'm not a fan of rain most of the time, but when it comes in the middle of a race like that and mixes shit up, you cannot help but love it. So we move on. Next up tomorrow is Eurotrip's Formula One. It is the midpoint mystery round. Nobody knows where they are racing tomorrow. So really looking forward to that. That is live from about 8:45-ish tomorrow. And then after that midnight, we are back with round 5 of the High Prix GT Champions Porsche Cup. On to Autopolis in the wonderful 911. Just being hurried along because I'm supposed to be racing in GT7. I thought, to be honest, I thought they would have started without me. So anyway, thanks for joining me. It's been emotional. I've been Empire. This has been Black Flag Racing Team.